Serving with you on the committee. Mr. Secretary, thank you for your testimony today and for your extraordinary service to your own citizens in your home state, but also to all of us in your current position. It's much appreciated. I represent the Hudson Valley, just above New York City, and we have a lot of specialty crop farmers in the Hudson Valley, in Orange County, but also on the east side of the river. There's a real feeling in my part of the world, as important as the sector is to feeding New York City and to the economy of the local region, that the laws are and the department are oriented in such a way towards the large agribusinesses in other parts of the country that they often leave our folks behind. In particular, you know, I have one of my constituents here today, Chris Pavelski, who runs a fourth generation, I believe, onion farmer from Central Orange County. You know, there's another couple he introduced me to, Jeff and Adina Bialis, who grow 250 crop varieties on 12 acres of land, and sometimes they'll change the crops during the season. You know, they have real problems with the crop insurance programs. So I was hoping you might say a word about the attention to the department to specialty crop farmers and to the way the crop insurance program works, or in many cases does not work, for those types of farmers.
Well, first of all, I'm familiar with the Hudson Valley. I went to school in upstate New York, both college and law school. So,
well, that explains your outstanding service to the country. It's all coming clear to me now, sir.
Right. Well, first of all, we continue to expand access to crop insurance. Basically, 85% of commodity producers are covered by crop insurance. That percentage is less for specialty crop producers. It's about 70%. Far more fruit producers are covered than vegetable producers, but that is increasing. We are constantly looking at data and accumulating information that allows us to actuarially develop products and expand those products. We're also significantly expanding one area of the specialty crop world which has not received a lot of attention until recently, which is the organic producer. Only about 20% of organic production is covered by crop insurance, so it's unique because of the value-added proposition. So it's about really accumulating the data and the information.
If I could just interrupt briefly, would you support efforts to sort of minimize I understand part of the problem is getting good actuarial data to provide that type of insurance. There are some ideas out there to make this more cost-effective for folks in terms of the match and how it's done. Would you support those efforts? Well,
obviously, we were always looking at whether or not the rates that are currently being charged for products are appropriate. We've actually had some adjustments in products recently as a result of a rate analysis. So that's part of our job. The other thing is that we have really made a concerted effort to expand market opportunities as well. It's not just providing the risk management, it's also creating market opportunities, and that's one of the reasons why the local and regional food system effort, Know Your Farmer, is important, because it creates new market opportunities. It's why the Farm to School program is important. It creates new market opportunities. It's why we've knocked down trade barriers to some of our fruits and vegetables, because that's market opportunity, and it's why we're looking for equivalency agreements on organics with the EU and Canada, for example, because it creates market opportunities. So it's a combination of both things.
I could ask you as well, in the minute and a half I've got remaining, there's a real concern among my folks that they were not helped adequately after Hurricane Irene. With all the attention on Superstorm Sandy, there was a hurricane a year before, and it had a devastating impact in Orange County, New York. And so the rubber really met the road on a lot of these crop insurance programs. And there's a concern that loan rates have been adjusted for folks in light of the drought, but not for smaller farmers as a result of Irene. Can you comment on that, sir, or what's your view?
The disaster loan rates are across the board. It isn't necessarily drought related. What we did do is we streamlined the disaster declaration process, and anybody who's in a disaster area gets the benefit of that lower interest rate on disaster loans, number one. Number two, I actually traveled to upstate New York with Hurricane Irene, or the storm, and there was an issue and continues to be an issue with our NAP product, and we were trying to make adjustments to make it a little bit more available, or making a little bit more sense for specialty crop producers. So I think it's an evolution. And I think there's a sensitivity in the department to the need for us to continue to find ways to help these producers out, because they're an important part of agriculture.
Well, thank you to get you back in the Hudson Valley. I'll yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Gentleman yields back.